Overwatch 2 is a game of many different characters and abilities, each ability with a feature that makes them unique. However, how do these match up against one another? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the power of switching in Overwatch 2 and how broken it actually is. Despite what people may say and think about counterpicks in Overwatch 2, it is probably one of the most non-mechanical factors that contributes to winning in the game. Things such as positioning, aiming, and movement. Fellas, gonna keep it a buck with you. Switching in Overwatch 2 is probably one of the most important things you can do in the entire game. To be honest, I'm not seeing people do this nearly enough. It provides so many benefits to you and your team. Let me break it down for you using the tank role. How I like to think of the tank role is rock, paper, scissors. It's a very good metaphor related to how the tank meta works inside of Overwatch. So in this current season, we currently have a rock, paper, scissors going on between Roadhog, Orisa, and Ramattra. Roadhog is good against Ramattra, Ramattra is good against Orisa, and Orisa is good against Roadhog. Each of these characters has a different tool that is used against one another. So for example, Roadhog, he can hook in the Ramattra for free basically. He's not so good against Orisa because Orisa can press her left shift, go and fortify, and you won't be able to hook her. Ramattra is good against Orisa because he has his snare and his range shot, not to mention his melee form and his ultimate, and Orisa being able to deflect Roadhog and counter his hook with fortify. Now, of course, this isn't the only example of this in the game, but by playing these characters and counterpicking one another, you're giving your team a better opportunity to win, as well as making the game more playable for yourself. I'll give you a perfect example of switching and counterpicking. So when I play DPS, I like to play Pharah, and say the enemy team is playing Junkrat and Genji. Most of the time, I'll be able to just freely fire and do whatever I want as Pharah. I'm not sure how it is in lower elos, but the second the first fight is over of the game, it's either you win or the enemy team wins, people insta-swap. They swap instantly, and most of the time they just go hit scan, sometimes even 2, 3, even 4 hit scans, just to counter one character. So not only am I getting countered, but the enemy team is playing around me, having to counter me. So what is this going to cause me to do? As soon as they kill me, because no way I'm surviving against 3, 4 hit scans unless I play so safe, I can either stay the same character and absolutely throw the entire game, or I can just switch characters when I die. I can already see the YouTube comments now.
What if you have ultimate? Should you not switch?
Well, let me tell you, if you have ultimate, sometimes it's okay to switch. The games I'm playing Pharah into 3 to 4 hit scans, if I have ultimate, I'm going to be switching immediately. Here's the thing, you're never going to be able to get close enough to use your ultimate, so you might as well just switch right away. Even though you'd lose percentage on your ultimate when you do switch, most of the time it's worth it. If they're rocking triple hit scan, I'm immediately just going to switch to Genji, dive their backline, and they won't be able to play the game. Now this is just one example, but so many of these exist in the game. It's just a matter of understanding what different characters' kits do, how they play against each other, and also knowing which character is good against which. Now this is going to come with a lot of playtime. Obviously, if you don't play the game as much, it's going to take you longer to learn these counterpicks, but in my opinion, I think it's a crucial core part of learning the game and actually getting good at Overwatch. I'm gonna expose myself a little bit here. My tank rank isn't as high as my DPS rank, so sometimes the people in my games, they just don't want to switch. And to be honest, that's fine, sure, play whatever character you want. But if we're actually trying to win the game, please learn when to switch characters. I can't stress this enough that if you learn to switch, you'll actually win a lot more games. Instead of sitting there and blaming your DPS or your tank, maybe it could be you on support. Who knows? You're not switching to a correct support in that specific situation. Can actually give you a good example. If the enemy team goes Roadhog and we don't have an Ana, it's actually pretty troll not to have an Ana against a Roadhog. Or a Zenyatta. Like, how are you going to kill him? You're not. He's just going to be able to run around and do whatever he wants. What I recommend is having 3 to 4 different characters you're good at each role. Whatever role you primarily play, make sure you have a counter to everybody or what you might think is a good counter pick to them. For me, on DPS, I like to play Pharah, Junkrat, Soldier, Genji, and Tracer. Sometimes I'll play Cassidy, but it all depends on the specific situation. The game literally rewards people that know how to switch characters. It makes the game so much easier to play. Like, why make the game harder on yourself? Aren't you queuing up a ranked game to win the game? Just drop your ego and play characters that are actually good against different characters. All you people that are new to Overwatch 2 and come from a game such as Valorant, you're supposed to switch characters in this game. I'm telling you, it's literally the cheat code to rank up. You don't even have to be good at the game. You literally just have to have half decent aim and know when to switch characters and know how to position correctly. That's how you rank up. The second you switch in the game, it entirely changes the course of the game. For example, it could change how your team's going to team fight. It could change how the enemy team has to team fight against you guys. But if they don't adjust to the switches, which more than likely they won't and won't know how to right away, away with their current comp, you'll end up just taking over the game or win that specific fight. Not to mention, the game being designed like this with the ability to swap mid-game, it kinda eliminates the purpose of one-tricking. A one-trick is somebody who only uses one character to climb the ranked ladder. In other games, the advice people give is, oh, one-trick a character to learn the game and blah 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 and all this to rank up, but that's not true for Overwatch at all. Sure, the first 20-25 hours you play the game, you might just only play one or two characters, but how the game is actually supposed to be played, you're supposed to be switching around what the enemy team comp has. And the way I recommend learning is by just playing different characters. Don't be afraid to lose some games to learn different characters. I know some of you in the YouTube comments, you care about your elo a lot.
But my silver 4 game, I lost my silver 3 game.
Listen up, I just did a full video on this. Rank doesn't matter in Overwatch 2. It really doesn't. The games are based on your MMR and not your actual medal rank. So guess what? If you lose a few games, learning different characters, that's going to be the price your teammates have to pay. You're trying to rank up in the later seasons once they fix the matchmaking. Probably better game quality than quick play, so you might as well just do it in ranked, learn some different characters. You know what, if you throw a few games, that's okay. Listen, I don't mind taking the blame either. If your teammates say you're throwing, you're like, hey, you know what, Halzeey told me to. I'm learning different characters right now. Like, if you actually want to play better and get better and climb, just learn different characters and play the game more. If you're only playing one character, sure, you might be able to climb to a certain rank, but there might become a point where you just can't be playing Soldier into Reinhardt anymore. In that specific situation, you gotta know, oh, maybe I should go Junkrat here, or maybe I should go Bastion, just some sort of shield breaker. It's tough to explain, but good Overwatch players, they just have a feeling they're doing nothing. I don't know if you guys experience this as well, but there's times in games where it just feels like I'm doing absolutely nothing, so I just have to switch. And then once I switch, the enemy team just starts to get farmed. I swear, it's like a sixth sense. You can just tell when your character isn't doing anything in the game.
Halzeey, it's just a skill issue. I can play Hanzo and win every game.
Most of the time, it's probably not even your play that's causing you to lose games. More than likely, you probably could have switched to a different character in that specific situation that either was good against the enemy team or benefited your team comp more. Tell me what you think about this idea down below. Make a video talking about different counter picks for each different character. So for example, if you're a Pharah player, you go to Pharah, click on Pharah, and then boom, you can see all of her different counters. For example, be like, oh, she's good against Junkrat and Genji, bad against Soldier, Bastion, etc. I think this definitely could be a good resource and tool to have, but let me know what you guys think down below. When it comes to switching in Overwatch 2, it's obviously personal choice. However, in my opinion, I think it gives a greater advantage when fighting the enemy team and also giving your chance to secure victory. Since there is such a wide variety of characters, it leaves a lot of variables that we have to discover. One of those being counterpicks. If you take some of my advice in this video, I can almost guarantee that you'll probably win more games. But I want to hear what your guys' stories are down below in the comments. Do you ever counterpick? Do you like playing just one character? I'm curious, let me know. To be honest, I'm just excited for the amount of comments talking about Hanzos that never swap and Genjis that never swap. Anyways, that's gonna be all for me. If you liked the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. My name is Halzeey, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.